Hello, Michael from Hoppers Physio here. Today we're going to talk about the type of ACL grafts. In a previous talk I've chatted about some of the rehabilitation involved, but there are two main types of grafts that you'll be faced with if you have to have an ACL graft. First of all, there is the autograft, which is tissue obtained from you, and more often than not it comes from the hamstring muscle at the back of the actual thigh itself. They take 20 centimeters of this tendinous tissues and loop it over to form roughly the size of an ACL, and they put little screws on either side and drill forward and back. The other type of graft is what we call an allograft. And the allograft is tissue taken from another person, obviously a dead person, a cadaver, and they often take part of their Achilles and use that as a way of making your ACL graft. So just to recap again, the anterior cruciate ligament is this ligament that does run from the front of the tibia and all the way towards the back part of the actual tibia itself. And it's made up of two bundles that literally cross over one another and intertwine. The main function of the ACL is to control rotational stability, which is what we often need in sport when we're changing direction. So when this is ruptured, our ability to do those activities is compromised, and that's why often people go in to have an ACL reconstruction. In saying that, the ACL is not imperative as you do get older as well, because you're less inclined to play those type of rotary sports, and we can often rehabilitate the knee such that we can have good quadriceps and hamstring function that can protect the knee without you having to go down the course of having an ACL reconstruction. In saying that, for the younger population that do heavily love their sport and are involved in sport, they more often than not need to have this type of operation moving forward. So we replace the ligament with a tendon. The tendon starts off with a lot of strength in that early days of once it's repaired, but it's not ligament tissue. The tendon dies off, and as it dies off, the strength of the graft diminishes such that at 12-week mark, the graft is roughly at its weakest point. By then, your body develops blood vessels that infiltrate into the graft and then deliver it all these fibroblasts and other type of cells that then strengthens the graft and makes it like a pseudo ligament, which then gives us that support that we need. And that's why often a graft, an ACL reconstruction, takes at least 12 months as a bare minimum to mature, but studies are now starting to show that really the best maturity is occurring around 18 months. And that's what we want to look into as we return back to sport. Unfortunately, from a statistical point of view, people that do return to sport at 12 months have a roughly about a 30% chance of re-rupturing that same leg, but that diminishes immensely as we then go further out in terms of graft maturation. The other leg also has about a 10 to 15% chance in that first year. So often the first year of sport is a bit tentative, and we don't like to push that too much. And this is why it's important you have the great guidance of one of us here at Hoppers Physio to help guide you through your rehab program. Thanks.